What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Digging Deeper. I'm your host, Jaron Colnane, with Mr. Co-host, Errol Bremer. And guess who we got this evening? Mr. Muddy Miner himself. Long awaited, hadn't it been? That's for dang sure. That being said, real quick, we're going to go ahead and give some shout-outs. Try to start at the top as fast as we can. We got Jeff King in the building. I'm surprised he's up right now. What time is it over there, Jeff? Who else we got? We got Dallas.
It's like mid-afternoon there.
Is it?
I think so. Huh. I could be wrong.
I saw a post not too long ago that said winter was kicking in. I'm like, wait, what? That's crazy. We got Dallas Edwards in the building. Mr. Rob McGuire. Frederick. Yeah, slap me when you see me, Frederick. Mr. Frederick Messimer in the building. We got Don Went, Lee Bruce, Keith Roop, all the way from the East Coast. What's up, brother man? Steve O'May, what's up, dude? Stephen Bertrand, brother man. Christopher England, he says, good evening from down the bayou here in Louisiana. It's good to have you, brother man. All the way from Louisiana. We got Michael Padilla in the building, Peter Whiting, Dave Peterson, of course. Peter? He says white or red. You know what? I got a little bit of sun, not too much. I think I'm more red than I am white right now. So that's to answer your question, Dave. Who else we got in the building? Joseph Gill. We got Gold Monkey Prospecting, Gary Kessel. All right, Mandy's Candy, Boss Dog Mining and Prospecting. Oh, Mr. MVP himself, Dan Rouse. Good deal. We got a bunch of people this evening. All right, good deal. First and foremost, I appreciate all you guys jumping on the podcast. It's about to be another fun one. And we got something special to announce at the end of the podcast, as well as something special to give away. So with that being said, Arrow?
I was going to say, Jeff King says it's 1:30 Friday afternoon.
Wow. 1:30 in the afternoon on Friday, huh? Holy crap. That's crazy. It's weird how that works, isn't it? It just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and start the show. So first and foremost, Solomon, go ahead and tell us about yourself and how you got into what you do over in your neck of the woods.
Well, I mean, I was born and raised here in Arkansas, and when I guess I was on a family vacation back in about 98 or 99. Most people didn't know it, and I didn't know it at the time. There's actually a diamond mine here in Arkansas, and on a family vacation, driving down the south part of the state, we was on the way back, and I seen a sign that says, diamond mine this way, and I thought, what the heck is that? I've never heard anything about it, and I was really interested, so took a little detour on the way home, and as you walked in there, it was a little bit different back then. They've changed some of the buildings, but as you walk in, you can see that dirt field down there, and it was green. It didn't look like anything I'd seen. So I thought, maybe this isn't a tourist trap after all. Maybe there's something to this, So yeah, it kind of started there. I walked in there and spent some time, and I think I found a couple little garnets and stuff, and where most people find garnets. I've been to some of the trips up in Kansas and stuff like that, where you could just you could find a lot of garnets, but down there you find just smaller, and they're pretty sparse, but there's some of the heavy minerals, and you get down there and you start finding some of the more common heavies, and you're like, oh, hey, this is really cool. I can find something, I can find stuff. So yeah, I went down there and we started taking family vacations down there, and I think it was probably the third or fourth family vacation we took. I actually found It was just a busted chip of a diamond, but it was 17 points, so not quite a fifth of a carat. But I mean, it was kind of cool. I was pretty excited about it, and so we kept going, and every time you go down there, you meet new people, and you meet people that are there for the first time, and you meet people that live there, and you make friends, and you build relationships with people, and after several years, I think it was in 2006, I met a guy that was he was actually making a living at it, and he was digging holes, and kind of got into that part because there's several different ways to do it. Some people, they just showed up and walked around, but became a real good friend of mine and got me into digging a little bit, and I found the second diamond, and it was absolutely beautiful, gem quality, and it was kind of a rare shape. It's called a mackle, and the first one was kind of cool. The second one was absolutely amazing, and that's that was really the one that set it off for me. I mean, when I seen that one, it's pretty awesome. So
wow, yeah. Holy crap! So you just were kind of going out there on the weekends and whenever you really could to try to find diamonds, essentially.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. More recently, that's probably 4 or 5 years ago. I took a few years off, got real busy with my job, and I was going to college, and I didn't go down there for several years, and then started kind of going back. Just kind of went here and there for a couple of years, and then a few years back, I started going about every weekend, every other weekend, and really getting into it. And over the course of about 2 years, I racked up about 30 diamonds, and around 30. Some of them, I give a lot of them to my kids and give some of them away to kids down there. And I didn't keep real good count, but I still have a few of them. Got a few that I haven't registered, but I know it's around 30. I think I've registered right now.
I didn't register.
Yeah. But
depends on what it looks like, right?
Right.
I hear you there. What kind of equipment were you using? Like, when you got there, they had rental equipment, I'm sure, right?
Right.
And once you started getting a little bit better at it, you realize, this is I can figure something else out better, right?
Right. Yeah. When you, if you didn't know anything about it and you walk down in there, your chances are pretty slim, honestly. I mean, there's a learning curve, and that's kind of where the YouTube channel got started. But you can go down there and you can get a small set of box screens just to process the material. And basically what that does is it washes the silt away and separates the gravel by size, but then you need to find a way to concentrate it. The story behind the Saruka is that, those have been used in South Africa and places like that where there have been diamonds for a long time, and they've been finding them. So, that's where the Saruka came from. But when the Saruka came to the States down there at the mine, it really got popularized down in about the 80s. I think it was 82. A guy named Charlie Newman brought them, and it really changed how people were finding diamonds down there, because you suddenly you can take a 5-gallon bucket and turn it into about little over a handful of really good concentrated heavies, and that's where your diamonds are going to be. So I mean, it changed how things worked, and now that's become an essential tool, because you can, like I said, you can get on YouTube now, you can figure out everything about it. So go down there with a simple set of box screens, you can get pretty easy, and then take a Saruka and concentrate it. And then,
well, so another thing I wanted to ask, obviously in the gold prospecting community, we use different screens and whatnot. One thing I want to ask is what do you think the difference is between a Saruka and traditional panning screens? Because I've noticed even the best screens out there, I have tons of them in my garage. I've noticed, from the cheapest ones to the best ones, they're kind of molded differently.
Right. I mean, everything can make a difference, from the shape, the width, the depth. I mean, it's all it all kind of comes into play. Used to, we would try and concentrate with a square set of box screens, and what you end up with is if you're concentrating with the same thing that you're processing material, it gets loose, and some people can do pretty good with a loose gem sieve type. When you're trying to sit there and concentrate with it, though, if there's movement in that bottom screen, you don't come up with quite as good a center. And if it's a square set, you get a plus shape, which makes it harder to harvest. It's a whole lot easier to miss some of the best stuff. With a Saruka, most generally the way you see them here is there'll be a flat bottom and it's pretty tight, and you don't want it so heavy you can't move it, but you want it wide enough that you can still get a pretty good amount of material in there. So, I mean, the ones that I've created, the Muddy Miner Saruka is I tried to make the best balance I could. You know, you've got to have a sturdy frame. You got to have a flat bottom. Well, flat bottoms seem to work the best. It's the most preferred, but you know, you got to have some strength in it and stuff like that. I mean, there's quite a bit of design, you know, thought and design into building them. You know, they've been being refined over the years. So.
Right. Well, and I noticed my first hand at actually going to a gem site was there's a gem mountain over there in Montana for sapphires.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of my first go at figuring out the learning curve. You know, it's funny because I never really understood how they were able to concentrate it so quickly and so easily until I actually made a trip out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the screens are, you know, people watching, you think, oh, well, my painting screen will work just good. In reality, it will not. If I were to take my painting screens and go to Gem Mountain with those and try to use those and wash and do the specific motions, it'll be so much more harder to concentrate those sapphires into the middle and the bottom of that heavy concentrated pile than it is the way that they have their screen set up. You know, and another crazy thing is that I noticed is the washing action that you do to be able to concentrate. You want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice, but once you learn how to do it, I mean, you're just lowering it right into the top of the water. You know, I mean, you don't get it very deep, and that water is going to kind of help pile that stuff up into a loaf. Once you've done that, you know, of course, your heavies don't spread out as fast. You know, so when you kind of master that technique of making that loaf and then you put some turn to it, and I mean, once you get good at it, you can kind of keep doing it all in one motion where you work a loaf and then you're turning it as you tap that down flat too. So that's, you know, that's what you were talking about, like with your panning screens. You know, you've got to have that flat bottom. If it's convexed at all, your heavies go to the outsides, you know, and you don't want that concentration to the outside. You want them on the inside. And with, you know, with diamonds, I'm sure it's the same with any other type, like gold nuggets and stuff like that, where they don't have a particular shape. You know, some diamonds, they do kind of have a characteristic shape, but you can have some that are busted. You know, we get some of them that are really burned up and they don't want to move along very well and stuff like that. So being able to kind of, you know, herd all that stuff to that center, that's a pretty key part of it. And then when you're learning how to work that Saruka, you can pick it up pretty quick, you know.
Right.
But yeah, there's definitely some technique to it, but it's pretty simple to learn. I've seen kids, I think actually it's when we were up at Cottonwood, had a young guy up there. He's, I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe 10 years old. I mean, he picked it up 10 minutes. I mean, that dude was a champ.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I cut the supports off one of my probably 1/20th classifiers and tried doing it. Yeah, it definitely takes a little skill. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's not easy. That's
what are the dimensions of your Sarukas?
The inner dimension is roughly 14 inches, and that was, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh man, you should have made these where they fit on a bucket," and I was like, "No, you don't want to. You got to have space for that stuff to spread out. You know, everywhere that you go and you dig, you're going to have different amounts of already concentrated." You know, the amount of the heavies that you're looking for, they're going to be in different concentrations everywhere you go. Everything you look for, any kind of gems, any kind of nuggets, gold, platinum, any of that stuff, sapphires, you don't really have that specific concentration of heavies in comparison to the host. So we made them, you know, we didn't even want them to fit on a 5-gallon bucket like the other types of classifiers and stuff, because you've got to give that stuff room to spread out. Right. So if you have a really small amount, you know, if you have a small amount of heavy minerals in what you're working, you know, it's going to be a small center when you get done, but you've got to have room for everything to kind of spread out as you're working it. Right.
Right.
If you're looking for something that fits on a 5-gallon bucket, you don't have that room. So if you have, you know, a broad range of heavy minerals and stuff like that, then you're not going to be able to get it to spread. So you can sort it out.
We had a comment.
How high are the walls on the Saruka pan?
If I remember right, it was about an inch, maybe an inch and an eighth.
So they're short.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that might be part of why too. You're not.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You're not putting a huge pile of dirt like we do with gold in there.
Right.
I don't know. I'm going to get some.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy if you think about it, Arrow. With our 9-day road trip, when we went over to Riggins, those would have worked freaking perfect for those ruby red garnets that Salmon River has.
Man, dude, and we've got one of the river, perfect. One of our, a couple of our spots here in Washington. It's almost just as much fun to run a sluice box for garnet because it's so bright and so abundant. I mean, your box just turns bright red. So it's after a while of not finding gold, you're like, oh, this doesn't suck too bad.
Yeah, my understanding, I really like to find the garnets and stuff, and I'm more of a gemstone guy. But my understanding is the garnets are kind of a nuisance sometimes. When you're looking for gold, and you're running a sluice or something. Because they're another heavy that competes for space. If you think about it.
Yeah, the gold's still heavier though. It'll settle out.
Yeah.
Normally when if you're losing gold out of a sluice, you either got a setup issue or it's a big flat flake and it just caught a current.
Right.
We got a couple comments here that I'd love to bring up. So for the folks that haven't signed up for StreamYard, when you do, your name pops up. That way, not only I, but my co-host and the special guest can see specifically who said it. But with that being said, we have a comment here that says from Facebook user, I want to get one of those old metal hand shopping baskets from the grocery store. I feel like that and a cooler would work well. Hey, you know what? I've seen some of the craziest stuff. I saw a fry basket. I don't remember who was using the fry basket, but it's awesome. I mean, whatever works for you, works. More power to you.
Mark Knackers.
Mark Knackers. Okay, awesome. And then
it fits the hopper of his little high banker.
No, that's awesome. Hey, if it works, it works.
I had somebody approach me on a YouTube comment about using a milk crate. I was actually using a milk crate in one of my videos to, is basically to take the cobble out. There's some pretty big jasper down there, and they're like, hey, that's a pretty good idea, but I'm not quite sure it's legal because I don't think you can own those milk crates. Those are property of a dairy. So, but I did find out.
Come on. Everybody's had a milk crate or two. Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've got like several different kinds of them. I mean,
I was going to say, I got a whole pile in my garage.
Yeah. Yeah. If it works, that's one of the things is you get out there and you find a lot of people. That's one of the things down there is you find people that build their own trommels for this. And there's a lot of different variations of things you can do.
So what are the rules as far as like powered equipment at the park? I mean,
it's all got to be manual powered. You can't use anything, nothing battery operated, no hydraulic sluicing. They have some water hose hookups down there so you can supply your water, but there's nothing battery powered. People are starting to try and use phones and, they've got to kind of police that a little bit. They want to keep it fair for everybody, so it's kind of a slippery slope. If they allow somebody to do something that's a little bit questionable, the next person tries to push it a little bit, and
it eventually gets worse. It depends on what type of equipment they try to get pushed in and working. You know how that goes.
Yeah. No metal detectors or anything. So,
well, we got a couple more comments here.
That seems like an odd one, but then again, I mean, you wouldn't really be metal detecting for diamonds.
No, you're not going to find anything with a metal detector. If you can make a metal detector that finds diamonds, man, I would invest in that.
Right.
Part B.
Newest technology. Yeah, that's for sure. Chris Johnson says, Dan Hurd finds a lot of garnets with his homemade classifier, and you do not want the one that fits in a bucket. Yeah, that's like I said, when I went over to Gem Mountain, they had their own square screens that they had. And the guy came up and he goes, hey, you know how to do this, that, and the other. And my big headedness, I'm like, oh, yeah, and I didn't know what I was doing. So, I'm sitting here trying to do this and flip it on the table, found nothing. And so I went back to the U shape, and I'm watching other people.
Yeah.
I finally saw someone doing it this way and then turning it into it.
Oh, yeah.
And so I did it, and boom, sure enough, I started finding those sapphires. I'm like, so it takes a little bit of skill to figure out, how to specifically work the gravel into a loaf. And that way those gems are at the very, very bottom, and that's something I didn't know about, and so, all the garnets that I've ran across, I mean, I would have loved the first spot we went to, Arrow, those purple garnets. I would have loved to have a whole vial of that, so it's
I
just
regret,
a story piece. It's a story piece in itself.
I regret not getting a little vial of sand from the river we were on there.
Oh, are you talking about Riggins?
No, I'm talking about the Palouse.
Palouse, yeah, Palouse River.
Man, the sand, when you panned it down, the sand was 100% like pink garnet, but it's literally sand grain. So you just have this pink sand, and it's super fine.
Pink and purple.
Should have brought some of that home.
I know. I do have some. I do have some, but it's very, very minuscule. I don't have a whole lot. I wish I have a whole vial of Salmon River ruby red garnets that I absolutely love. And every time I have my nephew over or my niece over, I have this whole cabinet behind me in the studio that has all my different rocks and different stuff. And, when they point at it, my brain just starts going. I'm like, yeah, this is this, and this is how this is. It's a fun talking piece, with the gems, but it works the same way, I'd imagine, just as well as diamonds.
Yep.
You probably get the dad, not again.
Well, that's the guests I have over, they are genuinely excited, but my daughter and my wife not so much.
Oh my God,
they're like,
go.
yes, Reagan's Idaho. Yeah, I remember. You've said this like 1,000 times. I'm like, I know, but it's freaking exciting. It's like
I was telling a guy the other day, I was like, that's the epitome of a rock hound, is that sometimes not everybody's as interested in their rocks as other people, so it's pretty tough.
Yeah, same thing with gold panning. You go out and you take somebody new out and you dig all day, and then you show them how much gold you got, and the average, still an okay pan, what we would consider. They look, that's all you got? You dug all day for that. Yes, I did.
I'm sure it's the same for you, Solomon, with digging for diamonds. There's some days you probably luck out and don't get anything, and then there's other days where you find something and you're able to take it home, and you have friends and family like, that's all you found, and how long were you there for? Yeah, I was there for 3 days.
You dug a 12-foot deep hole and you didn't find anything? You're an idiot, I mean, but it's one of the things I liked about it, and a lot of people that get outside and do stuff like that, and there's probably the people that do it for the gold panning too, is that you get out there and you enjoy being outside. You're out there doing something, you're doing some good hard work. It's always good for you to be sweating. And then a whole nother part of that is that, you're in a community, you're in a rock panning community, you're in a gold panning, all kinds of prospecting. You get into rock hounds, people that they just want to complete a collection. They've got, everything like the quartz from Arkansas, diamond from Arkansas, and, some of the other minerals in Magnet Cove. I mean, you get people that are going to state parks, it's a state park. So, I mean, you're going to meet people that travel all over the United States and just go to the parks. I mean, you meet so many different kind of people out there doing stuff like that. So, it's a big part of it. But not everybody gets so excited about digging a 7-foot deep hole, and coming out of that thing with nothing. Most of us just like, well, that sucked. We'll dig somewhere else next time.
Yep. That's that's the same thing with like Arrow and Rob. Rob took a train to get over here to Spokane. I picked him up at the train station, and then Arrow drove over here. The first 3 days, just pouring rain. Worst luck of it all. I mean, just horrible. But would I do it over again any day of the week? Because it was just Arrow's like, he was just a kid.
No,
if he wasn't a kid in the candy store, he was sleeping in the truck. So I mean, he got the best sleep of his life.
I had to save up my energy.
All right, we got a few more comments here, and then we're going to roll on with the podcast here. Let's see here. So Rob McGuire says Solomon was awesome at the Cottonwood event. So yeah, that's one of those things that we kind of wanted to touch topics on. Was what did you think about the event? Was it fun, exciting? I
Yeah,
mean,
it was an absolute blast. We got rained on a little bit, but it wasn't bad at all. It wasn't just freezing cold or anything. So, I mean, we got out there and we got to play in the creek. We were out there finding garnets, finding gold. Everybody was, getting. It was great, because
that's awesome.
you go out there and you make a dozen friends, and there were some young ones out there, and they were learning and getting excited about it. And yeah, I mean, it was really nice. And even when we weren't out there running a dredge and stuff, it was peaceful and it was nice. And everybody sat around, visited, had some campfires going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a heck of a time. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. That's at
That's
the
so
end of the
cool.
day, that's all we look forward to is allowing people to get away from technology and away from towns and cities and just enjoy themselves. Just have fun. I mean, that's honestly what it's all about. That's why you see so many different posts across social media. I mean, a good example, Raymond Cora is in the building. This guy goes out in his neck of the wood with Westmoreland, and they go out. It's just this big area. There's nothing around. We did a group dig over there on Wes's claim, and he sent me GPS coordinates. I'm like, oh, I don't know how people are going to handle this, but it ended up turning out great, and people thoroughly enjoyed it because it was almost like a treasure hunt, an adventure. You throw it in the GPS and just set sail, man, get on the road and go have fun. And that group dig over there, that was a lot of fun. I was kind of nervous at first, but at the same time, Rob being over there, Rob is my right hand man, just a phenomenal guy. And he's like, yeah, I got it. I'm sure. I'm like, you sure? I'm like, okay, dude, if you think you got it, man, let's do it and let's make it happen. And we saw all the pictures and everybody talking about it, and it just turned out to be a really awesome, like homegrown event. And it was awesome. It was really good to see that. That's for sure.
Yeah, those guys that were hosting up there, man, they were working their tails off trying to make sure everybody's having a great time and comfortable and had everything they needed. And yeah, it was a really good time.
That's awesome.
We got some great people in this group, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. They always say great minds think alike, but in the way that I kind of like to turn it is good people like being around good people. That's the reality of it.
Right.
Positive people want to be around positive people. And it's not a chance or luck or anything like that. It's, hey, this guy, he seems pretty cool. I'd like to get to know him. Or, hey, this gal seems pretty cool. I'd like to get to know her. And that's basically all what we've built from is just people enjoying the outdoors and just like spreading, their enjoyment out there with someone else. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's phenomenal. Yeah. The community that.
Yeah, that was one of the funnest things at camp was that most of those guys were about like me. They were cutting up and BSing. And I mean, we did more laughing and everything and kidding around than anything. I mean, it was not really, but some of the best pictures we had were of me and the other guys just cutting up and laughing until we were red in the face over there trying to, feed a gold hog. It was just so much fun that, it was
awesome. That's awesome. We definitely, we're trying to, me and Arrow are trying to make our way over there. It's definitely in the itinerary for this summer, but like we talked about pre-show, it's so hard to plan things like that as a 40-hour a week and kids and things like that. But that's as far as the places that I want to visit as soon as possible. It's definitely the East Coast. I really want to shake hands with all of the folks over there. Joseph Bossy, yourself. I mean, everybody that's over there, Joe Brickner. I mean, the whole atmosphere that you guys have over there is just like a positive, not a care in the world, enjoying myself for what the day has to offer kind of, vibe. And it's just freaking awesome. Everybody that I've met from the East Coast so far has just been phenomenal. Like awesome people. They're like, this is how it is. This is who I am. You either like me or you don't. And it's just been an awesome thing. It's been absolutely phenomenal. We actually got a picture. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate that. We actually got a picture here that we're gonna go ahead and post up. Rob's like, I gotta make sure he gets this picture on here. Oh, absolutely phenomenal. Arrow, you want to go through a couple more of those comments while I go ahead and get this uploaded real quick?
Sure, let me get caught up here. Got a lot of chitter chatter about metal detectors.
Well, we definitely got to talk a little bit about those, but not too much.
Let's see, we got Mr. Luigi Gino Chiato. I don't know if I jacked that up, man, but he's the Nugget King. He's from Eureka Golden Sands. If you guys want some awesome pay dirt, I've had some. It's good. Eureka Golden Sands. Go check him out. Got Mr. Jason Wiggins watching. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Jason? Now we got a couple of good comments here. We got Don Went. Arrow sleeping picture. I'm not going to do that to Arrow this time. I won't do it to him this time.
It doesn't matter. I'm numb to it now.
All right. So this is the picture that Rob went ahead and sent me. It's a little blurry there, but it looks like Joseph Bossy and Solomon over there just having a hell of a time. That's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Joe's a good guy, isn't he? He's just a funny character.
He was awesome to hang out with, man. It was pretty cool.
I absolutely love that guy.
Man, he carted off some gold too, man. He did good.
Did he really?
Oh,
That's awesome.
Yeah, his cleanup was fantastic. I'd have been.
That's awesome.
I can't remember how long he was running, but he had a pile. It was awesome.
No, that's absolutely awesome. So to get back into what we were talking about, so you do have a YouTube page that I'd like to share to everybody watching right now. I do have a banner I'm going to post on the bottom. And then I also have your website link just as well for people to be able to jump over and grab themselves Sarukas to be able to use that in whatever state they're in. Before I do that, I wanted to ask a few more questions. First and foremost, with you hunting for diamonds over there in Arkansas, what is the biggest and most clear diamond that you have found?
Oh, let me think here. I found the biggest
documented or undocumented.
The biggest one. I mean, I really haven't found any really large ones. I think the biggest one I've got is about 3/4 of a carat, but it's not real clear. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a bubbly. It was kind of burned up, and that's it. I've not registered or anything. I've still got it laying around somewhere. The clearest one, the best one, man. I'm trying to think. I found.
You've been doing this for long enough.
I'm trying to think of what the best one I've had was. I mean, honestly, I just give them to my kids. I find them and I register them, and that's cool. And then usually around Christmas time, any of them I find during the year, I just give to my kids. And I don't think I've kept track of the prettiest ones. I mean, I found some that's kind of an interesting shape that comes from this diamond mine. Every diamond mine has kind of a characteristic shape for the diamonds that come from there. And you can almost identify them from India and Africa, and the crater diamonds are easy to pick out. I tell everybody it's kind of like melting glass or melting ice when it comes up, so you can get a real pretty shape. It's almost like a basketball. I think it's a dodecahedron is the shape. And when you find them and they're perfectly round, those are really, really pretty. So when you get one of those that's clear, it's an absolutely beautiful diamond. And I found a couple of those. A couple of them, I think one of them was really small, maybe 7 or 10 points. And I had one that was 19 points. I found a white one that was really, really nice. It's a real good dodecahedron. I think it's dodecahedron. It's the name of the shape. But, I mean, honestly, I can't even remember what the best clear one I've had. And I'm pretty sure the biggest one was about 3/4 carat. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've got probably a dozen buckets of material, of heavies that I've brought back and not gone through.
Haven't even went through. Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's a few more. But I would say –
we all know that you didn't find a monster one because you're not broadcasting from the Bahamas.
Yeah. Now, I would say the prettiest ones, though, even though they're not the biggest, are the yellows. Man, the yellow diamonds down there, you find one of those fancy yellows. Man, I mean, those things are so pretty. I'd trade 10 white ones for a pretty yellow one. I found a few of those.
We got a couple questions here. Arrow, do you see the questions? Go ahead and.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was trying to find it, found it. Gold Monkey Prospecting says, what do you look for in the dirt when you're hunting for diamonds, and why do they need to be registered?
Normally, when yeah, that is a real good question. So what you're looking for when you're down there is anywhere where the silt has washed away and left heaviest behind. So, most people, when you're looking for gold, you're going to look for where the heavies concentrate. And it's the same thing with diamonds. In that specific mine, you've got barite and calcite quartz, and diamonds. You've got spinel and garnet and stuff. So those are all your indicators. A little less common is the chromium diopside. So anytime where you're finding some of those heavies gathered up, that's what you're wanting to look for on the surface. Now, if you're going to try and dig, digging it's not near as popular as it used to be because of they've kind of tightened down on some of the rules. If you go down there planning to dig, then what you would look for is gravel concentrations from old mining operations. You'd go down there with a steel probe, and that's what we used to do. There were some places down there, not much of that old material is left, but you would go down there with a steel probe and you'd probe down. I mean, I've seen holes down there 12, 15 feet deep. But you got to fill them in by the end of the day, and you're digging by hand. So, as far as what you're looking for, if you're on the surface, look for anything that's, any concentrations of gravel. If it's rained and it's piled up gravel in between the furrows, they plow them up with I've heard people call it a plow, but it's not really a plow. It's more like a Tata Hiller or something where they build furrows with it. So they're doing that in a contour where it's going to erode properly. Right. So it's going to wash some of the silt. It'll leave some of that kind of pea gravel in the bottoms between the furrows. Scoop that stuff up because you're already concentrated significantly at that point. And what was the second part of the question?
Why did the diamonds have to be registered?
Oh, they don't have to be registered. Honestly, it's just it identifies it. The people that work there and register are usually pretty good at making sure that they can tell that it's a authentic diamond from there. Honestly, you don't have to register any diamonds. I know a couple people that have found thousands, and that's not even all they've registered. They may have found, who knows how many they really found, but they've only registered thousands.
I think it's more of a fun thing for the folks that, like tourists and things like that. They want to, if they find something after traveling for a very long time, I'd assume, by registering it, it gives them some sort of, hey, I was here kind of deal, right?
Yeah, well, you get a little card when you register them. You get a little card that says, hey, this guy found this diamond on this day, and here's the size and color. And
that's pretty awesome.
It's signed and it's got a stamp. So,
that's awesome.
That'll help identify that diamond as a crater diamond, and that can give them a little bit of, a little bit more value. It's kind of like people that like artifacts, arrowheads. Everybody wants to know exactly where it came from and it was real, and the authenticity.
Right. So we got another question here. Facebook user, I don't know who this is. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, guys. Diamonds have a certain frequency, right? There should be someone out there that can make a detector. What is your comments on that, Solomon?
I know that you can use X-ray. I don't know about using any kind of, because they're not metallic, they're carbon.
Right.
So, they can use X-ray to find it. I don't think there's any kind of a metal detector that'll do it.
Maybe some kind of detector. I know that they use ground penetrating radar for pockets of certain materials. I'm curious if
that's I think those are just shooting back formations in the ground rather than material.
Right. So I guess it technically you'd be poking holes for no reason almost in that case. We got another comment here from another Facebook user. I have to wonder what kind of diamond hunting opportunities will open up in the future in northern Canada as the ice melts. Possible placer opportunities? To be honest with you, it's possible, right?
Yeah, and it would probably get pretty tough because when you start thinking about a lot of the other places that have diamonds, you can find them all over Colorado and Wyoming and stuff like that, and there's no telling how many pipes have been eroded completely away. You can't even tell they were ever there, but the diamonds are all left behind.
Well, so I've heard because I looked into that when I was in Colorado, and as far as I could tell, there was one diamond mine kind of up by the Wyoming border. But the story went that when some guy a long time ago, when he discovered the diamonds, he went and threw rock salt down across everything so that nobody else would find them.
Wow. Wow.
But that was a really long time ago. But I thought that you couldn't get up near there. But once again, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's Kelsey Lake. It's right there on the border, and you can see it. You can see it on satellite imagery, and you'll actually see that blue colored dirt similar to what's down here at the Crater of Diamonds. But it's only one of several. There are several pipes up in there, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't think it's in production right now, and it hasn't been since I think in about the mid '90s. But there have been some pretty significant diamonds come out of it.
I was always wanting to kimberlite. Do you find a lot of kimberlite there?
I think here at the crater it's lamprite.
Lamprite?
There's a few different kinds of what you would call diamond bearing material. It's going to be kimberlite, lamprite, and I can't remember the third one. I cannot remember exactly what it's called. But yeah, this one down here, for a long time they thought it was kimberlite. In fact, they named there was almost like a little settlement right outside of Murfreesboro called Kimberly because they thought it was kimberlite. And then I think in the 70s, they figured out it wasn't quite chemically the same. It's actually lamprite. But there's a few different kinds of.
And is that the hard black pieces? Is that if you pan the dirt down there?
No, you're probably thinking of spinel. Similar to like you guys have the black sand when you're looking for gold, but spinel is one of the heavier indicators.
When that guy was selling, pay dirt from just outside the national park down there, I was like, yeah, I'm game.
Yeah.
I found out really quick that it is hard to process, very hard to process. I mean, it is compact. I mean, it's bricks.
Oh yeah, it's hard stuff. Yeah, he's actually on another pipe. There are 7 pipes right there in that same area, and it's all because there's way down deep. There's I guess a crack or however it formed. And, it's long been covered over now. There's the Tokyo gravel formation is over it and stuff. But he's actually got a piece of property that's over another pipe. And I know that some of that dirt that he sold, I know at least one person found a nice little diamond out of it. I don't know if there's
I still got 2 full boxes because I was having so much trouble going through it. I let a pan soak in water for like a week, and it's still rock solid. I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that stuff takes a while to weather down. But I mean, it's the real.
So how do you got? Do you just put all that stuff to the side and wait to break it down at some point, and then you just do whatever heavies come out of it loose wise? You just chuck that out with waste rock.
Yeah, realistically, you don't want that stuff if you're going to the diamond mine, right? Because if you look at how diamond mines go and figure out whether it's going to be profitable, kind of like, with a gold mine, you got to make sure the concentration's there, right? So if you're just digging just straight plain Jane lamprite, you're not going to have the concentration. I mean, you'd have to go through tons of it to even have a chance of finding a diamond. So, you either go find the mine gravel or you just find something that's already concentrated.
And that's when you start selling pay dirt because we know people want to buy pay dirt with diamonds. There's nothing here. How are we going to pay for this?
Yeah. But as far as Mr. Worthington, there's really nowhere else in the States where you can just order any of that, right? I mean, if you think about it, you can get some there from the Crater of Diamonds, but you got to go actually there in person and buy it and carry it out from the gift shop. But I mean, you can't order Kelsey Lake material or anything like that. He's sitting on a gold mine, except it's a diamond mine.
So he's still selling then, because I haven't seen anything from him since then.
I'm not sure if he's still selling it. I thought he was. I know he just now started up his operation again. He's actually I think he's got a trommel down there running right now.
Cool.
Well, we got a
Cool.
couple more questions here that I wanted to get through. Let's see. So we're going to start with this question over here, and then we'll work our way on the Facebook section of things. Boss Dog Mining and Prospecting says diamond versus quartz similarities in look.
Quartz will usually be a lot more jagged. If you find a busted up diamond, it's still going to have, typically will still have some smooth edges, at least from the crater. You know, I was telling you about that kind of melted ice look. They'll have a typical shape. They're not perfectly, you know, they say it's kind of looks like a four-sided pyramids, two of them base to base will be the octahedron shape. But then when they resorb, that doubles their faces basically. So you're still going to have some of that shape left. And when you get to quartz, you're going to have growth lines on it. You're going to have a lot of jagged edges. Sometimes it'll be crystal clear. Where diamonds, usually you can't see through them, believe it or not. Most of them from down there. You'll be able to see that reflection off the backside. If you can see into the diamond, if it's clear enough, it'll look like a drop of water where you're seeing that reflection off the backside. The metallic luster is a dead giveaway.
Wow.
It makes them, once you've seen, a lot of people will tell you, the people that have actually found several of them down there will tell you, once you really see one, you know it's one. You might see quartz a few times and not really know, but then once you've seen a diamond, you're like, oh, that's way different. You know, that's definitely something else.
Well, we got another question here from Mr. Chris Johnson. I can't find it on my StreamYard side of things. He says, when we watch gold shows, do they just let the diamonds go into tailings, or do they even know what to look for?
More than likely, they probably miss them. I mean, they
I was
know
going to say,
over in Northern California, they know they missed them for a long time. You know.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, any one of us can touch on that subject. I mean, honestly, if they have a specific commercial system built for, you know, what they're looking for, then that's specifically what they're going to look for. They're not going to have any other system attached or some sort of method to specifically, or at least, you know, try to be able to get any of those diamonds if it is in that area. And that's, you know, my opinion on it. I mean,
if you think about it, the way you harvest gold and the way you harvest all kinds of gemstones, you know, the sapphires, the diamonds, you're using specific gravity, and whatever method you're using, you're targeting a specific gravity rating, right?
Right.
So, I mean, if you're looking for gold, anything that's not that specific gravity is going to be something that's, you know, missed in your system.
Yep.
Unless you've got a Saruka and you can get into a center, then you get all of it.
Right. Well, we got a couple more questions or a couple more comments here. Mr. Dan Rouse in the building. He also says, I carry muddy miner Sarukas in the shop. Prospector's treasure trove if someone wants one quickly on the West Coast. Dan, good comment there, man. I appreciate you commenting. That way, anybody over in this neck of the woods can get it directly from you as well. So,
yep,
multiple options. Let's see, we get a couple more comments, and then I'm going to go ahead and put those banners down at the bottom. Let's see. Diamonds, like other gems, are found in larger grained kimberlite and lamperlite. Yep, that's what we were speaking about. Let's see. Okay, here we go. This is the one I was looking for. Do you use a Saruka to sift diamonds from gravel? If not, how do you locate them?
I guess the best. So the Sarukas that I make, you can get a classifying set. So you really know what size of target you're going looking for. You know, most of the diamonds there at the Crater of Diamonds, I would say the average size has gone down. It used to be the size of a match head. Now it's probably getting smaller because people are getting better at finding them. They're getting better at, you know, there's better equipment available obviously now. So if you're just
like the equipment down there, just like the equipment down there at that website.
Yeah. And if you're just going to go out prospecting, you know, in the spirit of prospecting, you go out and you go through material from target areas. You still really want to be able to separate the material by size. You know, that's one of the key things that's, you know, that's kind of that next level if you can get out there and you can separate that size out. So with a Saruka, with a classifying set, you can get a quarter, a 1/8, and a 16 or a 20 mesh. Is usually it's a 3-piece set. So I mean, anything above quarter mesh, if there were a diamond, it would be a really big diamond, several carats, which is really, really rare. And for the most part, when people are going to go out and find a diamond, it's not going to be that big. If it is that big, you don't need a Saruka to find it. It's going to be, pretty obvious.
Right.
So,
right.
And I know there's, I think is it bonitoite over in California? It's normally a fairly small gemstone, and I think it can be wet sifted. You can use specific gravity to separate it from its host. Of course, garnets and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you have a target size, it really helps. That's how you're going to find it. Is you're going to figure out what size you're looking for, right?
Right.
So,
well, one question. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I totally slipped over this question, and I saw it early on. How much does it cost to be able to go mine for diamonds over there?
I believe the tickets are now at $13, $12 or $13 per person per day.
And where is this? Where is the specific spot, or town, or
you could just Google it; it'll come up.
Yeah, it's Murfreesboro, Arkansas. It's the Crater of Diamonds State Park.
Crater of Diamonds. $13 a ticket, and that's for all day.
Yep. Yeah, it's they used to have longer hours in the summer, but when COVID started, they quit. I think now they're just doing 8 to 4 every day.
8 to 4.
Yeah, they're only closed. I think they only closed on Thanksgiving and Christmas now.
I was going to say there was a couple people in the comments that said that that's actually what they're going to go and do this summer. So hopefully that clarified it for you guys. If you weren't able to find it online or whatever the case may be, this is the man right here to give you all the information you need. And that website down there below, you can get yourself a set of Sarukas that'll work perfect for that area. And I would imagine they'd work great for garnets in your area as well.
Yep.
I mean, that's the go-to right there. So with that being said, let's see.
I have a quick question here.
Sorry about that.
Rick Stash this week found some pretty amazing things up mining. I don't know if y'all saw that, but he wanted to ask, have you ever found any cool calcite stalactite specimens going out and digging in dirt?
No, I haven't myself.
What is the best mineral that you've gone out and dug out of the ground then, I guess?
Like a secondary?
Or
outside of diamonds?
Well, I mean, outside of diamonds.
Okay, so most people probably also know that Arkansas has got some amazing quartz. There's the quartz belt that goes roughly from the north side of Little Rock all the way over into Oklahoma. It passes through Mount Ida and Mena. And there's some amazing quartz down here. I've got some really good chunks of it over here. It's just real nice clusters and stuff, and that's a real close second. And quartz is a little bit different because there's so much of it down here in Arkansas. And so the points and beautiful points, phantoms. It's really easy to find. If somebody comes down to the Crater of Diamonds, I would recommend you also go to some of the quartz mines down here because I mean, it's with diamonds you might find one. If you really know what you're doing, you got the right equipment, you'll probably find one. But if you go looking for quartz and you go to the right, one of the mines, you'll find it. You'll find quartz points and you'll find clusters, and it's a lot easier, honestly. It's there's not as much challenge to it. Obviously you don't use a Saruka. You go out there and you dig through, most of the time you dig through tailings piles. But that's something that's a must do. If you're going to be in Arkansas at the diamond mine, you need to go to the quartz mines too.
That's absolutely awesome. We got a couple more comments real quick, and then we'll go on our 5-minute break, and then we got some more exciting stuff on the second half of the podcast. Luigi, Gino, Del. Oh, that's a hard last name.
I butchered it too, so I don't know. He's probably laughing right now. But
he says Solomon PM me would like to stock Sarukas in my shop in Canada. Awesome. So I'll go ahead and send your guys' information or something like that. I'm sure we can make something like that happen. That'd be absolutely awesome. So we have another comment here, and I believe this is I don't know who this is. I'm sorry. It's he or she says, a huge thanks to Solomon for giving my daughter Brianna the Saruka screen at Cottonwood Trails last year. She talks about how kind, patient, smart everyone was. She learned a lot. She talks about the amazing weekend all the time. Thank you all. That warms my heart. That's absolutely awesome. I'm so glad that everybody there just had a phenomenal time. I was talking with the folks over there trying to get with Jim McIntyre, trying to get another group day going over there. And from the experiences everybody had, I think we're going to be able to make it happen. It's kind of late in the season to already try to schedule one, but I think we can make it happen and this time make it a lot more fun. I mean, if that one was fun to you guys, PB family will definitely make it just that much more fun. That's for sure. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take our 5-minute break. We actually got a fun commercial. Some of the folks have seen on Facebook. We're trying to switch things up and show folks as much as we possibly can with all sorts of stuff in the community. If there's anybody out there that has a commercial that wants it on the podcast, we'd love to display what you guys have to offer for the community. I mean, at the end of the day, the more we do for the community positively, the better off people are going to be, whether it's getting new equipment, whether it's knowledge, whatever the case may be. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a quick 5-minute break. Don, geez, man. Don, I love you, man. He's just too funny. I tell you what, everybody watching, Mr. Don Went, I'm sure you've heard about him all across social media. This guy, even if I'm having a bad day from work, this guy seems to crack me up some way, some shape, some form. I don't know how he does it, but it's one way or another. But yeah, so with that being said, guys, we're going to jump into our 5-minute break. And then once we get back, we'll have an awesome second half of the podcast. So with that being said, without further ado, I will see you guys shortly.
Tea and pot.
Back in the early 1800s, miners used wooden sluice boxes with slats called riffles to catch the gold nuggets. In modern times, the basic concept has not changed much, except the materials and manufacturing are new and modernized. Today, the gold being recovered still faces the same problem: overburdening of heavy materials and gold rolling out of the sluice box and into the tailing pit. The constant pattern of gold migration cannot change unless the riffle profiles are also changed. But how do you change something that's been the staple and the standard in gold mining for over 200 years? Recently exploding into the gold recovery world, DreamMat has taken a fresh new perspective on gold recovery. DreamMat uses proven hydrocyclone technology to capture gold better than traditional riffle methods. It breaks the back of rolling migration by spinning the gold upstream, reversing the direction of the gold against the flow, gathering it into sheltered collection cells. Light material is constantly swirled and pulled off by passing flow. Gold settles to the bottom of the cells, allowing it to remain unaffected by migrating flow. This reduces concentrates, allowing for extended run times and simpler cleanups. Gold is collected in the upper portion of the sluice mat, showing the reduction of normal migration. DreamMat's bold new approach of moving the gold upstream is as exciting as it sounds, helping benefit gold recovery with seasoned miners to weekend prospectors. Whether you're sluicing, high banking, dredging, or running a wash plant, DreamMat has the only technology of its kind that exploits nature's physics after 200 years of tradition, bringing gold recovery into the future with confidence and results that no other system in the world can offer. Don't let your profits be swept downstream by old traditional methods. Start moving your gold upstream with DreamMat into greater recovery profits today.
Yeah. So Darren's mic is muted.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I noticed it right out the gate because mine was
Good
too.
deal. I was just going to start chewing the fat, man. But no, I hope everybody was able to grab something to drink, maybe use the bathroom real quick, grab some snacks. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start off the second part of the podcast. The first thing I do want to ask you, Solomon, is how much does the Sarukas cost? For folks, I saw a couple of folks in the comments that are actually interested and are going to be jumping on your website to check them out. What is the cost? And do you want to explain a little bit about the set, the whole works, what you have going on over at Muddy Miner Supplies?
Yeah, so the Saruka, that's we sell them as a 3-piece set. If you want a 3-piece set, you can get a 1/4 and an 1/8, and then you can couple it with a 16 or a 20 mesh. Those are your finest sizes. A lot of people we started out selling a lot more of the 16 mesh, but I think people are seeing that the size of the diamonds they're finding down here are getting a little bit smaller. So now they're going to kind of shift into a 20 mesh. Our retail on those, we retail them for 65. Some of the vendors have gone, I think, actually down there in town. Of course, anytime you go somewhere, it's a tourist attraction. They'll go up a little bit on price. So I think some of the local vendors down there are like $70 or $80 on them. So, but the 3-piece set we sell on the website, I think that's the only place you can get them right now is 150. So that discounts the 3 of them down a little bit.
No, that's pretty awesome. And then another question I wanted to ask about them is what made you, or not necessarily what made you want to come out with some that worked really well? In fact, when did you feel it was the right time to, when do you feel it was the right time to bring these to the community, for the community to try them out and see what happens?
Well, it was kind of when I was doing the YouTube videos, I was putting a lot of information out there. And when you kind of look at it from the aspect of, a lot of people, when you're down there a lot, you realize that not only do a lot of people not know what to do, that a lot of people are having their trouble getting their hands on the right equipment to do it.
Right.
So as I started putting the YouTube channels out, and I could see, well, people are now showing up and they already kind of have an idea what to do, but they still didn't have the right equipment, and box screens are pretty common. They're not hard to make, but it's a little bit harder to cook with a good Saruka. For years and years, the best Sarukas, they were pretty heavy. They were made with bicycle rims and PVC pipe, similar to what Dan Hurd uses. He just has PVC pipe, but people were making them, they'd make them out of embroidery hoops that, had a saggy bottom, wouldn't hold up. You'd see people make them out of wood strips that, they weren't round. You couldn't put a screen in there flat or anything like that. So, it took a lot of design work. And I mean, we actually revised it. We revised our design a few months ago to make them stack just a little bit better. We weren't quite perfectly happy with it. So we went back to we used everything about the Sarukas from a small business. We used every single piece of that thing is from a small business. I think the furthest away is from California. It's a small business that supplies our stainless, but the screws are from small business. The plastic is a small business. They order the plastic from a place in Texas. It's I can't even remember the name of it now, but people that designed it is a small business. The 3D printing for the the renderings for the the original design went to a small business just north of town. So I mean, that was kind of a passion to make sure we used every single small business we could. And then of course I assemble every one of them by hand myself. So that's how I can make sure I've got the quality I want in them.
That's absolutely freaking bad to the bone, man. That blows me away.
That's super cool.
That is awesome. At the end of the day, today's day and age, and I'm guilty of it myself, using big box stores and things like that, just out of convenience. I try to support as many small businesses as I can. And it's pretty funny because there's a couple different businesses, I'm not going to name specifically, in my neck of the woods over here in Spokane that are small businesses, and they have a little bit of a higher price on some of the stuff they have. But what most people don't understand is you're helping them pay the bills they have when they go home. You're helping them.
Yep.
You're supporting them as with their family. You know what I mean? So supporting a small business is massive. It's huge.
Yep. Absolutely.
You're helping someone that's basically in your same situation, but with a business.
Right.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. We got a couple comments here. Excuse me, just getting over a sickness here. Let's see. So Don says, good comment, Don. Keep it in the States and supporting small business. Nicely done. That's right. We got another comment here. And actually, I'm going to, Chris Tinsley says, that money goes into your community. It does.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in the prospecting community, we talked about this on a few different podcasts. When you hear of prospecting, that's not just gold. That could be
Right.
gems. That could be, there's so many different avenues that go into prospecting. You know what I mean? And in the prospecting community alone would rather invest in its own community than it would outsource it.
Right.
And there's certain different materials and things like that we absolutely do not manufacture in the United States. So there's no way around it. But the more you support small businesses, the better. I cannot say that enough.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely monumental. We got a comment here. Dream Matt. So I'm assuming it's Dave because Tim never jumps on. So do people use the cube with minimal in it to look for gemstones and gold at the same time? To be honest with you, let me go ahead and put my opinion in there before we go with Arrow, and then we'll work our way around. I mean, honestly,
go ahead.
Do you want me to say that question one more time for you, Arrow?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Dream Matt says, so do people use the cube, which is the cube stack, with minimal in it? So I'm assuming he's saying with minimal stuff running through it or minimal material. So do people use the cube with minimal in it to look for gemstones and gold at the same time? Personally, if I were to bring a gold or a stack out somewhere, me being a gold prospector, I'm going to look for it, but it's going to be something that I pass off more looking for gold. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put as much emphasis in looking for gems in a machine like that than I would for gold. If I'm looking through the cells of the micromats, I'm definitely going to be looking for gold more so than I would for gems. Arrow, you want to touch on that real quick?
If it's sparkly and in the box, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, because
it's pretty much that simple. Well, if it's sparkly and in the box, I'm looking at it because it could be something. It might. It's probably not. It's probably just a flake of mica or, but still, I'm checking it out.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I'll have to agree 100%. But in reality, if you're going out to a specific place, is that what you're going to be tuned in to look for? You know what I mean? You have a rock hounding background, so I'd imagine you're going to be looking for all sorts of things. What's running through it, which makes sense. Yeah. Which makes sense. I mean, if me. And every person's different, but with me personally, the time I do get off is very minimal and very hard to actually get time off. I work 40 hours a week. I have 3 kids. So if I'm going to a specific place, I'm going to be looking for gold. I'm looking for, you know what I mean? So with other people, it's different. With other people, gemstones, that could be, hey, if I don't find any gold, I can find some gems and I'll just be happy with that. Or like Arrow said, mica, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it probably kind of goes two ways. Because if you think about it, a lot of people, they'll go and prospect with an exact, like they have one thing in their mind they're going to go look for, and a lot of diamonds that have been found in Georgia have been kind of incidentals. They found them while they were looking for anything else. Gold specifically in
Right.
Georgia, I think, is where some of those have been found. But so there's I think it goes kind of two ways. There's people that are going to go looking for a specific thing, and then there's people that are going to go look for everything. They're going to say, hey, let's go see what I can find. And they might do some of their homework and say, well, what could be here? What's been found in the past? What's mine data got? All these different things. And, some people will really study up on it. And some people say, okay, this, Cache Creek is where I'm going to go, and I'm only going to look for gold. And that's what they're going to find. And, that may be all they find because that's all they look for.
Right. No, I totally
yeah,
agree.
I mean,
I totally agree 110%.
Up here, when you take a break from digging, you're walking the bar, seeing what kind of rocks are out there.
I agree with that. So I'm not looking in. Yeah, if I'm not finding gold, yeah.
I haven't found any yet. I probably walked over it 1,000 times, but we have a lot of jade here, really nice jade. So, hoping to find some of that soon.
I'll have to agree with you. I
got some clues on it.
If I'm not finding gold for the first day or day and a half, usually my excursions are 3 days. I mean, to be honest with you, if I'm not finding gold my first 9 hours, I'm out there just kicking ass and taking names. Yeah, I'm looking at rocks. I'm taking something home with me that I'm going to enjoy and talk about so much that my wife doesn't want to hear about it anymore. That's the reality of it. I mean, I wasn't brought into this as a rock hound, but rock hound is still in my blood when I'm out prospecting for gold. So in reality, kind of off the topic, but in reality, yes, I'm still looking for that secondary. But if I'm going out for a specific purpose, especially with a cube, yeah, all I'm looking for is gold at that point. That's where I'm at. Rick Stash. All right, what did he say?
Yeah.
Here? You know what? Oh, geez. I got a smiley face, and that's all I got. Anyway.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, even if I'm not finding rocks, sometimes I can get lost in just taking pictures. Because if you really start looking out, if you're out there in the middle of nowhere, and you really take the time to start noticing little things that are out there, you're like, that's pretty cool. I don't see that very often or ever.
Yeah, no, that's true. So I want to kind of talk about Solomon's YouTube channel. So the videos he has is actually absolutely phenomenal. They're really, really freaking great videos. And they have awesome views. You have people, I'm sure, from all over the United States actually watching these videos and getting very educated when they actually make the trip over to the Crater of Diamonds to actually look for them themselves. And so for everybody watching, I really want you guys to jump over. The YouTube channel for him is right down there, the Arkansas Diamond Miner. Go over there and check out his videos. He has some awesome videos, really awesome videos. He did give me a fib, and he says he hasn't made any videos recently. So by saying this live, I hope that pushes him to make more videos in the future.
Yeah, you're kind of torn two ways when you're making videos about what you're doing. When you go down there and you've only got that 8 hours, of while the park is open. If you go down there and you film, then you really only have a couple of hours because you're taking all the time to make sure you're recording all the stuff you do, and you got set up, and then you got to kind of have an approach. If you go down there and you got to have a plan when you go into it, that gives you some better chances. And of course, if you've got a really good spot, I don't know if you want to put that out there every time or something like that. But no, it's recording takes a little bit more when you're out doing anything like that outdoors. So, sometimes I go down there, and if it's a video that might go over 2 or 3 days, then I get about a day's worth of material ran. But most of my videos are just 1 day. So,
right. Well, the videos you have made in the past obviously speak for themselves. You see all the positive comments. I've watched a total of probably 6 of your videos or 5 of your videos. I haven't watched them all. But the videos I have watched, I like to do a lot of research on every single person we bring on the show, and that's simply for my own knowledge. But on top of that, it gives me knowledge I didn't have. And, you know, the amount of people watching your videos and genuinely enjoying it and saying, hey, thank you for the knowledge. Thank you for the information. Like, clearly you're doing something right. You know, clearly you're doing something that people genuinely enjoy. You know, it's not a paid subscription or a paid this or a patron that. It's, hey, this is what I'm doing in my neck of the woods. This is how, you know, things are supposed to be done if you want to find something, and people enjoy it. People love it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's been a couple of times where somebody walking like, and you know, they'll be watching my video as they walk by, you know, and that's kind of a weird feeling. I've had, I'll be down there just covered in mud, and they'll come up and ask me for an autograph, and that's just, to me, it is absolutely weird because I'm just some little dude, you know, down there digging a hole, and you know, I don't feel like it's anything special, but it's you know, you're making videos specifically about that, and then people are showing up there, and I mean, I've had people I've had people send me pictures of me that they took while they were out there. Like, hey, I
the back of you.
I took a picture of you. You know?
The thing that I enjoy the most about those certain situations is one simple thing. And it doesn't boil down to anything other than one simple thing. And that specific thing is they've gained something from you that has positively impacted their life.
Right.
And so they look at you, whether you want to call it this, that, or the other, they have had a positive impact from what you've done for them, that they want to be a part of you and who you are and what you're saying and who you're educating or how you're educating. You know what I mean? And that's like the key, man. That's like, if you're able to help another person out, that's massive.
That's one of the things, you know, when you look at the community aspect of it, you know, you're down there with a lot of people that enjoy doing the same things. And most of the regulars that they go down there quite a bit and they mine diamonds, they find a lot of diamonds, but they all kind of try and help newcomers, you know, and you know, these are people that are going to show up and they're going to spend a week of their life there just, you know, as a bucket list deal. You know, a lot of guys will pitch in and say, hey, you know, hey, do this a little bit different. You have better chances. And hey, there's some good material over here if you didn't see it. You know, I mean, there's a whole slew of people down there that just, you know, they help out. And it's, you know, for the most part, it's a lot of good guys. And they'll jump right in there and show you how to work a Saruka. And they'll show you, you know, if you're doing something wrong, you know, they don't shy away a bit on saying, hey, you know, if you need some help, let me know. Or you won't always find people that'll carry buckets for you, but there's a lot of people that
you'll never find anybody. Believe you me. I've learned that lesson. I've learned that lesson. Don't fill the bucket halfway full. Fill it a quarter full, and you'll have people that'll help you. You fill it half full, they will not help you. I've learned that.
Yeah, there's kind of a collective effort. You know, you want people to have a good time when they go down there. You know, I mean, that's just a natural thing. Is that, you know, you really don't want to see people struggle, and there's a lot of aspects down there that, you know, it really helps them out if they know it. You know,
right.
People don't really appreciate how the weather is. You know, in the summertime when it's really hot and humid, that's an open field. You know, and there was one day last year, I think we had 3 or 4 people that couldn't make it out. They got out there and they didn't realize how hot they were in the pavilions. And then you got to walk through the sun to get out of there, you know? So at one point I was, you know, a couple of my videos was like, hey, if you guys come out here, please know that it's going to be hot and it's going to be humid and it's going to be out in the middle and exposed. And there's definitely a lot of things to know about the place to make it a much more pleasurable experience.
Right. Well, and your videos on YouTube clearly explain that a couple different times when you're out there. So anybody watching, you know, we got the banner down at the bottom. Jump over there, you know, subscribe to his channel, and then definitely watch his videos. If that's something that's on your bucket list or something that you do regularly every single year, bringing your family out there, he has great education on it. Great education. Let you know what you're getting into. You know, honestly, the amount of fun you're going to have. We got comments flooding through here. I'm going to try to go through a couple of comments, and then we got something to do here. Okay, so let's see. A dream at, let me start back up here real quick. Excuse me. Don says, making videos takes away from working time. Yes, it does. way back when I reached out to a few different people. I think I reached out to 3 people when I first wanted to start prospecting, buddy, and Don was one of them. And I thought about making YouTube videos, man, when I was up north, and I'm like, I bought this little cheap tripod. I'm like, I'm not doing this shit. Like, nope.
Man, it's hard.
Like,
It's
the first day, man, I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And
yeah.
no, that making
See, and
videos.
then you gotta go through and do all the editing and uploading and stuff like that. And I mean, if you want to make a real good video, that needs to be all you do.
It's a lot of work, man. And you know what's funny is since I was 16 years old, I've been into video editing, audio editing, audio mixing and mastering. I mean, I was building computers since good old DHL. You know what I mean? I've been in all that, and so as far as editing, it was no big deal. But when I'm driving 2.5 hours away, and I just want to enjoy the outdoors, like, I went to set up the camera, this piece of crap camera I bought, and I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, no, that's not for me, man. Like, it just wasn't for me, and it's not for everybody. But the folks that do it, like yourself, going out there and making it happen, people love it. Let's see, we do have, Facebook user. Again, for those that don't know, StreamYard, if you guys would like your name to pop up on Facebook, you guys do need to log in with StreamYard. It's absolutely free, doesn't cost anything. And that way we could see your picture and your name, and it's just a lot of fun. But Facebook user says, we plan on going to Arkansas for diamonds just to see. So if I were you guys, I'd hook up with Solomon on Facebook, add him as a friend, get to talking with him. He will point you in the right direction and make sure you guys have a ton of fun. Dream Matt. They say we have done gemstone tests with the mini mat. excuse me. We have done gemstone tests with the mini mat and the cube and got great results. That's one thing I've yet to do is actually test any of the Dream Mat products with gems. As far as gold goes, I've had great results. Absolutely great results. As far as gemstones, excuse me. That's one thing I haven't yet to test or even pay attention to be honest with you. There's a few times last summer we went out and ran about 1.5 yards, and I wasn't looking for gemstones. I was looking for gold. But I definitely will take your word on it. And this summer, I'm definitely going to try it out for sure. Let's see. Christy Hulbert Parham is in the building. Good to see you for sure. Facebook user says, I think I need to grab some water. Jeez Louise. I love how you have different aspects of mining people on here that have YouTube videos. Errol, you want to go ahead and touch on that real quick? I'm going to grab
No, sorry. I'm responding to somebody here. Hold on.
No worries. I'm going to go through a couple more comments before my throat starts to finally give out, and I'm just turning purple in the face here. Let's see here. So, geez, Louise, they're just coming in. I appreciate the show, buddies. Cool stuff. I appreciate that. Let's see here. CJ, I appreciate that. The YouTube link we actually have down at the banner here. Let's see. Another comment here. Always learning and helping our mining community. That's what it's all about. At the end of the day, we have such a great community more than ever. Back in the day it was a different ballgame, but today's day and age, everybody wants to help everybody in the community. And the more we build on that, the more we have a say in the places we get to go to and the opportunities that are at our fingertips, so being able to grow in the community and get it bigger and more connected than ever is better. I mean, that's where it needs to be.
Well, and then at some point, like John Ulrich, we're going to start working in, his historical pieces to it, and treasure hunting and whatnot.
Big time. Rob McGuire says, "Don't break your buddy like Sergio." yeah, Sergio. Don't have Rob do too much. Oh, that is too funny. Too funny indeed. So with that being said, we're getting to the end of the podcast here. Don says, Jaron needs a shot of Jack Daniels to clear the throat. No. I need some water is what I need. I feel like a fish out of water. Just getting over the sickness. One more comment here. Yes, Sir Jaron, grow and educate. That's where it's at. Like I said, that's exactly where it's at. Oh, we got to do one more comment here. Larry Hayes. Arrow is sleeping.
I see it. I see it.
Well, he did that on the 9-day road trip, so I'm sure he's doing it right now. I don't doubt it one bit.
Multiple times. Not multiple times tonight, but
so with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and do a giveaway real quick. Not take too much of Solomon's time here. I had a good friend of mine, Christy Parham, come by. She actually is starting something up here very soon. I can't talk too much about it, but she's going to start selling some really awesome pay dirt. And of course, as you guys know, Robert Virgas did a little review on it. She didn't really ask about it, but he went ahead and did it anyway. She's a homegrown person, absolutely phenomenal. And so she ended up coming by and donate some pay dirt bags to give away on some of our podcasts. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and give away one of her bags, and her company is Dirty Gold Pay Dirt. Like I said, absolutely phenomenal person. We chewed the fat for a good couple of hours talking about different equipment. I had her check out all the equipment I got in my garage. And then she went and picked up some new equipment. Absolutely phenomenal person. Like I said, down to earth, great person. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do a name wheel. And then let's give this pay dirt bag away, not take too much more time up from Solomon, and go from there. Arrow.
yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and we got, I think, 4 or 5 more comments here. You want to go ahead and shout those out real quick? Let me grab a cup of water. I'm about to just faint. This, like I said, getting over the sickness. I've only been sick since the day before yesterday, and mainly got just sniffles. And then today it's just dry throat, just the raspy. You know how it goes, especially having 3 kids. You know, one kid gets better, the other kid gets sick. All your kids get better, and then you get sick as the father. You know how that works, and it never fails, right? No matter how much you're like, stay away from it, it doesn't matter. You just kind of give up by like the 2nd or 3rd day. You know, you start getting the clogged nose, this, that, and the other. You're like, oh, well, I'm sick. All right, got to go to work tomorrow in the morning and work 9 hours, whatever. It is what it is. You know how that works. But anyways, yeah, go ahead and pop a couple more. Don, you know what? I'm just going to kick this guy. I'll be right back, though.
Why? No, you can't even tell me which comment Don said. That's fine. That's fine. Said Arrow is thinking about sparkling boxes. Well, yeah, almost all the time. What did Rick? Yeah, Rick Stash said there's more minerals to be mined than the shiny. So pay attention when you're out there. But we're kind of talking about that.
Yep.
Where is it? Larry Hayes said John Ulrich is a very smart dude, and he's really nice. So if you get a chance to reach out and talk to him, if you're interested in amazing gold specimens from Nevada or just historical mining stuff, he's a riot to talk to, or just antiques in general. Yeah. So now we're going to take our shot at Jaron. It says, Don says, now it's Jeopardy. When will Jaron ship the prize? He's gonna have to wait like a week. Oh my.
All right. Well, I guess root beer is going to have to do. I saw one root beer left over, so I'm like, you know what? That's going to work.
We just got an additional giveaway. Rick Stash says do a giveaway for a secret calcite stalactite specimen, value $85. If you guys follow Rick and go check out the video he posted yesterday, I think, or maybe today, you can see what he pulled out of a secret spot. It looks pretty amazing.
Good deal.
So-
Well, we have one more comment here, and then we're going to start taking names. Facebook user says, always love the podcast. Thanks also to the Muddy Miner for being on. You know what's funny, guys, is we've actually been trying to get a date figured out for Mr. Solomon and ourselves. We've been trying for what? It's been, I think, 3 months now. I mean, it's been quite a while.
I could tell you why. Because Jaron had to mail the invitation, and it took him forever to get it out.
Wow. Okay. All right, Errol. I'll take it. You're gonna get the next one. You're getting the next one, though.
What do you mean? You've got like a history of Arrow sleeping photos, like hanging up in your closet or something. I don't know.
I got plenty of them.
Yeah.
That's that is too funny. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do the name wheel.
All right. So go ahead.
So nobody post your names just yet, anything like that. We're gonna switch it up just a skosh. Reason being, for those that are actually not on right now, that are not watching, will not win anything. So with that being said, excuse me, an email. You know what, Don? Whatever, man. Whatever, man. So with that being said, what we're going to do is everybody that's watching right now, like I said, or you just jumped on, we're going to give, this dirty girl paid her away from Mrs. Christy Parham, and what we're going to do is everybody that's watching right now, whether on YouTube or Facebook, when I say go, I'm going to put it in the comment on StreamYard and on YouTube. You go ahead and say, hey, H-E-Y. And then what Errol will do is start naming off the names that say, hey, and we're going to put it in the name wheel. We'll give this patered away, and we'll call it an evening. What do you think, Solomon? Sounds like a plan?
Sounds good. That sounds good.
Good deal. My camera doesn't want to even focus anymore. Jeez Louise, I need to get a new one. So with that being said, I'm going to post it in here right now. There's one on StreamYard and one on YouTube. So go ahead and post hey right underneath what I just put there. It's now on Facebook and it's now on YouTube. Put a hey, H-E-Y, not your name. Put H-E-Y.
Come on there. Let's see.
Oh, they're coming in.
We got Dallas Edwards.
Oh, all right, Dallas, gotcha.
Gold Monkey Prospecting.
Got him.
Steve O'May.
You were gonna say Steve Mayo.
I was, but that's because there's a plumber on one of my plumbing pages named Steve Mayo. All right, we got David Osterberg.
Okay.
Cliff Sommer, Sommer.
Okay.
We got Mr. Raymond Corries. What's up, Ray?
All right.
We got Michael Padilla.
Last name?
Padilla.
Pidalla. ELLA. Sorry. Next.
It's whatever. It's close enough. We got Chris Johnson.
Oh, too much fun, man. All right.
Kenny Whitaker.
Okay.
We're gonna do Lila Sash, Rick Stoddard.
Okay.
Malcolm Roberts.
Okay.
Michael Crawford.
Okay.
Mr. Jeff King, what's up, buddy?
What's up, big dog? Okay.
Joseph Knowlton, what's up, Joseph? Hey.
Hey, good to see you, buddy. Okay.
Okay, we got Christopher England.
Okay.
Let's see here. I think that's all I got.
Let's see. Okay, so let me get off. I got 4 pages going here. Okay, so Over here, we got One Day Off Prospecting, Lee Skillings, Joe Gill, Glenn Silva, Mucking Placer, Cricket Hooks. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add you guys real quick. So we got
Chris Tinsley.
Okay, give me a sec here. Mucking Placer. Okay, we got Joe Gill in the building. We got Lee Skillings. Okay, we got One Day Off Prospecting. 1 day off. Okay, and then who else?
Chris Tinsley and Larry Hayes.
Okay, Chris Tinsley, Larry Hayes. Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, so so what I'm gonna
do you want in Rick? Wait, do you want in Rick Stash under your own? Just put Rick Stash in there. He deserves it.
Rick Stash. Okay, so for everybody that doesn't know, before we do this giveaway, real quick, I'm actually going to pop this guy back on here. Excuse me. So for everybody that doesn't know, if you want to get your hands on a Saruka, in fact, Solomon's doing a little bit of a discount for the folks that are watching tonight, specifically the people that are watching. I can't say that enough. A 15% off discount of the Sarukas. Now, you have to spell it specifically. If you have any problems with it, just let one of us know. It's Muddy Buddy, MUDDY BUDDY. That'll be 15% off the Sarukas at the website down below. If I were you guys, you ain't going to find a deal better than this. Jump down on his website, get some of them bad boys. It's an extra awesome piece of prospecting equipment to have in your arsenal. I cannot say that enough. It's one of those things that if you're not having good chances with gold for that day, whip those guys out, and I promise you, you're going to be able to take something home that you absolutely are going to be able to enjoy. So one more time, 15% off at muddyminersupplies.com. It's going to be Muddy Buddy, MUDDY BUDDY. So make sure you get over there. If you don't get over there, I don't know what to tell you. If we want to, we can spice things up, and that's up to you, Solomon. Would you like to give away a Saruka tonight?
Yeah, absolutely.
Make someone's night tonight. Is that asking too much, or is that something that you'd be willing to want to do?
Hey, let's do it.
Let's do it. So
sweet.
We got something spiced up here. So we got a Saruka to give away. We got this freaking awesome pay dirt from Dirty Girl Pay Dirt, and we have something awesome as heck from Rick Stash himself. So with that being said, we have the names in the name wheel. Oh, go for it.
We get Nielo. Do we get Nilo Taylor? Neilo Taylor?
We did not. Nilo, man, I haven't heard from you in a while. How you doing, man? All right, Mr. Nilo Taylor in the building. Dude's freaking bad to the bone, kicking ass and taking names over there. This dredge and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do, we'll make this nice and easy. I think we've learned over the past, Arrow. Doing the name wheel. We kind of got a system down pat for this nowadays.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and name off of all the names that I have on the name wheel. If you don't hear yourself, go ahead and say, hey, you missed me, whether it be on Facebook or on YouTube. I'll take a look to the left after I say all of the names. I'll give it about, 2-3 minutes. If I don't see anything, Arrow has the famous 10-second countdown, and then we're going to spin this wheel for the first prize of the night. So with that being said, here are all the names that we have in the name wheel. We got Dallas Edwards, Gold Monkey Prospecting, Steve O'May, David Osterberg, Cliff Sommer, Raymond Corres, Michael Padella, Chris Johnson. Can you put it? Did I mess it up? Padella?
Well, Mike, it's Padilla. Just like tortilla.
Padilla. Okay, so why didn't you
we were just talking about it. It is.
You messed. Okay, you know what? I didn't know the L's were silent. Thank you very much. Okay, so now that Arrow messed me up, I'm gonna start from the top
No,
again.
we were just talking about that back and forth. He said, "Oh, look, Arrow pronounced my name correctly," and then Don says, "Don't have Jaron do it," and then you butchered it.
Wow. See what I gotta go through, Solomon? This is the stuff I gotta go through with these guys every
It's
day.
got to be tough, man. This has to be pretty tough.
It's almost too much to handle with these guys. I tell you what. Okay. So another thing I've learned tonight.
That's
from
not
now
your
on,
fault, Jaron. It's just organic.
Jeez Louise. Wow. Anywho, okay. From top to bottom. Wow. Dallas Edwards, Gold Monkey Prospecting, Steve O'May, David Osterberg, Cliff Sommer, Raymond Corres, Michael Padilla, Chris Johnson, Kenny Whitaker, Lila Stash, Malcolm Roberts, Michael Crawford, Jeff King, Joseph Knowlton, Christopher England, Cricket Hooks, Mucking Placer, Joe Gill, Lee Skillings, One Day Off Prospecting, Chris Tinsley, Larry Hayes, Rick Stash, Nilo Taylor. All right, you guys have 3 minutes. It's 8:20 p.m. right now. You have 3 minutes to get your name in if you didn't hear your name on Facebook and on YouTube. After those 3 minutes, we're doing a 10-second countdown, and then we're spinning this wheel. What prize do we want to give away first off? What do we want to do, Solomon? You name the first prize. We got the awesome Dirty Girl Pater. We have a phenomenal specimen from Mr. Rick Stash himself. And then we got an awesome Saruka from yourself. So which one do we want to give away first?
Oh, we got Mark Wakefield.
Which one do we want to give away first, Solomon?
Let's do the Saruka.
Saruka. So first round of the giveaway is going to be the Saruka. I'm telling you guys, once you get your hand on this bad boy, you guys will be extremely excited. It is much different than anything you've seen. I'm telling you. This guy has been selling like crazy. Sorry, go for it, Arrow.
Did you get Mark Wakefield in there?
So we're going to start with Don's comment, our redheaded stepbrother, Jared, and work our way down from there.
Okay.
Jeez Louise. Tina says, you love it. It keeps you on your toes, Mr. Jaron. Yes, unfortunately it does. So I will agree with you, Mama Tina. I will agree. Let's see here. So Mark Wakefield. All right, so we got 1 more minute. 1 more minute. If you didn't hear your name, you are out of luck. I don't know what to tell you. Mark Wakefield, you were in.
Do we have Glenn Saliva?
Oh, let's see. Wheel of names. We don't have. All right, so Glenn Silva, you're in there. Mucking Placer, good day. Okay, it looks like we got everybody. Sweet. All right, so if anybody got missed, we got less than a minute. Less than a minute.
Let's start getting those drum rolls together, folks.
Yeah, let's get them drum rolls in there. Let's make it happen. Let's see some drum rolls. Don, you don't get to win anymore. You're part of the PB family. I do have one of these for you. Oh, you deserve that one, Don. You gave me too much. Jaron, quite the typist. Yes, that is for sure.
Kenny Whitaker says he has a YouTube channel called Eagle Eye Prospector. So everybody go and check him out.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So we're ready to rock and roll. It's 8:23. All right. So Arrow, give us the 10-second countdown. Let's do it to it.
10, 9, 8.
You got to make it sound more exciting than that. He's just like
5,
9,
4, 3.
There we go. There we go. All right. Who's the winner? Who's the winner of the Saruka? Let's see here. And the winner is going to be, oh, that was close between Joe Gill, but Mucking Placer. Mucking Placer, you are the winner of that Saruka.
Buddy. Sweet. Yeah.
Good deal. Congratulations, Mucking Placer. With that being said, make sure you reach out to any three of us. You could reach out to me at any given time. Reach out to Arrow on Facebook. No matter what it is, reach out to us ASAP That way we
Yeah,
can get.
I talk to that guy sometimes. I know Andy. We're good.
Yeah. All right. Well, if that's the case, then get a hold of that guy down there, and he'll send the address over to Mr. Solomon. And congratulations, man. Good deal. Awesome sauce.
And,
Errol, what's
Michael,
the next one we should give away?
Let's
we got
do
the Pater,
Christie's,
and we got the
let's
specimen.
do Christie's. Yeah, Michael
right.
Padilla. Michael Padilla says he's got a prospecting page on Instagram that's prospecting_unlimited. So go check his stuff out, folks.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. All right. So second round. Second round is going to be, like I said, from Christy Parham. Absolutely phenomenal
Padilla.
woman. Like Tortilla, Padilla. I know, Padilla. I got it now. I promise. I'll never mispronounce it ever again. Love you, buddy. He says like Tortilla. I just exactly. Boom. Oh, geez Louise. All right. So, yeah, Christy Parham, she's coming out with something special. You see a lot of different Pater being sold from a lot of different individuals. This is going to be one of those specifically that we are going to do everything we can in our power to help her in the best way we can possible. Like I said, a phenomenal person, down to earth. She actually lives in my neck of the woods. And we've talked multiple times. Good person, homegrown, just wants the best for anybody that buys a Pater bag from her. Right now, she isn't selling the Pater bags just yet, but she will be very soon. So definitely keep a lookout. Dirty Girl Prospecting. She also has a new YouTube channel as well. Go over there, check it out. Dirty Girl Prospecting. Can't miss it. Easy to pronounce, easy to type. So with that being said, the second giveaway of the night is going to be one of these bad boys. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get a drum roll. Let's get drum rolls in the comments, please, and thank you.
Drum rolls, please.
And again, if you guys are on Facebook, go over, subscribe over to Solomon's YouTube page. The guy is absolutely phenomenal. He has some really awesome freaking videos. It's right down there. I got to post that again. I can't express it enough. The knowledge you gain from this individual is absolutely phenomenal, and the positivity you see from him, especially in his videos, is absolutely phenomenal. And for the folks that's been watching this whole podcast, it's been tough trying to get this all sorted out, but we were able to luckily have him tonight, and it worked out really awesome. So make sure you go down there, hit that subscribe button for him, and show some love.
And we'll probably have him again sometime.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Most definitely. Totally agree. So with that being said, we got some drum rolls in the building. We're going to go ahead and do it to it. Let's see who it is this time around. Oh, that was a toss-up. All right. So between Michael Padilla and Chris Johnson, you are the winner of the Dirty Girl Pater. Congratulations, Chris Johnson. Make sure you send me your information, your address, or arrow, and we'll get that shipped out to you, buddy. Absolutely awesome.
So Jaron said he sent you a pic of the specimen that he's given away. So why don't you?
Oh yeah, I can actually pop that up real quick. In fact, give me just a second here. This will be the third part of the giveaway. Absolutely phenomenal piece here. Let me grab it real quick. Just give me a second, guys. I got so many pages here. I'm surprised I'm able to do this as quick as I am, to be honest with you. Let's see. Here we go. Bam. All right. So this is going to be for the third prize giveaway of the evening. Last part of the show. This is going to be from Rick Stash himself. Appreciate you donating that to the PB giveaway, Rick.
Thanks,
you know
Rick.
I love you, dude. Excuse me. So this is going to be that specimen. Absolutely phenomenal piece. You can add to your collection of gems and minerals that you have over in your neck of the woods. I'd love to turn my camera around and show you just how many different specimens I have in my cabinet. I have an old china cabinet, and it's just packed. Absolutely packed. I mean, we've had donations come through from really awesome people. I had one that came through from a good friend of mine, Robert Hood, that has a pyrite vein through the big old chunk of rock, and it has quartz pieces in it, and it's just absolutely phenomenal. I'd love to pull it out, but I'm not going to sit here and dig through all my little. It's not going to happen. So with that being said, I'm going to show the photo one more time. Oh, look at that!
This isn't going to be a giveaway, but when I was talking about the quartz,
you can give it to me.
Right?
You can give it to me.
This one's mine.
That's absolutely gorgeous. Well, and I'm sure we all have freaking awesome collections. I mean, the only thing, there's a couple of specimens that I am missing. I'd love to get a nice, fat, chunky quartz cluster. I got to spend some time over in Rick's neck of the woods. He has some phenomenal ground over there. I just haven't been able to make it over in his neck of the woods, and that's probably the only thing I'm really missing over here. I mean, I have so many awesome, really, really cool pieces. But anyways, enough bumping my gums here. I'll show the photo one more time of the third part of the giveaway. Mr. Rick Stash donating that to the PV giveaway. Absolutely phenomenal.
He says it's Druzy calcite stalactite cluster. I think it's Druzy. He said Drury, but I think it's Druzy, but I'm not sure. Maybe it is Drury. Calcite stalactite cluster. Say that 3 times fast.
I was just going to say that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get some drum rolls in. Drum rolls, please. Rick, I will be on my way over there this summer. I'm going to be over there quite a bit, actually, believe it or not. Let's get some drum rolls here. Drum rolls.
Drum rolls, please.
All right. Let's see. All right. We got Larry Hayes for the drum rolls. All right. So with that, let's do the name wheel. All right. Here we go.
And the winner is.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, a toss-up between Dallas Edwards and Glenn Silva. Dallas Edwards, you are the winner of that beautiful specimen. Congratulations, Dallas Edwards. Good deal. So with that being said, reach out to Rick Stash himself, reach out to me, reach out to Arrow. We'll make sure we get that sent over to you. With that being said, everybody that's watching this evening, I appreciate you guys a lot. The journey that we've been on with the Digging Deeper podcast, bringing folks like Solomon himself and many others, to as many people as we can with what the knowledge he has and the product he has to help better people's experience out in the field is absolutely phenomenal. And I appreciate all you guys watching and just having fun with us. We like to have fun. That's for sure. Yeah. So with that being said,
thanks for teaching everybody too, man. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, that's the heart of what we're doing here is just spreading the love. So kick ass.
Yeah, well, and some of the stuff you explained, Solomon, I had no clue about. So
but I mean that's kind of the spirit of the prospecting buddy community, right? I mean, everybody supports each other, learns from each other, and so I sure do appreciate you guys letting me be a part of that. So
no, we'd love to have you again. We'd love to have you again, and like I said, at the end of the day, it's all about freaking teaching other people and even the newbies, even the new people coming into the community, if we can set them on the right track firsthand versus them getting on the wrong track firsthand, that enables them to actually genuinely enjoy it that much longer, whether it's just a hobby or something they're passionate about. You know what I mean? It helps them further their process with what they're looking for and what they're doing in their life with their family or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's absolutely a ton of fun. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. We have another awesome, phenomenal guest such as Solomon himself in the next few weeks. We got a little bit of a lineup. So make sure you guys are watching for the announcements. We're going to try our damnedest. It's summertime. Everybody gets out and has fun during the weekend. So it's hard to do the announcements as quick as we usually do during the wintertime. But if you guys are active on Prospecting Buddy on Facebook, you guys will be able to see the announcements, no problem. So with that being said, I love every single one of you. I appreciate you guys. You guys all have a awesome night. See you guys next time.